Before the place is swarming with people, I will lead you on a tour of the expo as the visitors visit it for the first time. This is the way in. There's this flight of stairs. So let's get up. So the start of the expo is on the second floor. It's actually like climbing up the castle. This is why it's so narrow. It's like going down the catacombs, but only when you go up, because there's the same kind of flight of stairs that bring you to the catacombs. All right, we have arrived. So it starts with a little intro that tells you statistics, differences between organized killer, the disorganized killer. In my opinion, it's a very old way of classifying this type of offenders, but it comes from that guy, Wrestler, who was one of the inventors of FBI profiling. It's very 90s, if you will. Some criminologists still believe that it's a valid classification. I think it's a very smooth tool when you study this type of crime. But that's what it is. People often believe that they know everything about the subject when they don't. So those are pictures of different killers. Some of them you obviously know, Gein or Nielsen, Cottingham. Some are less known. I don't know, this guy is written in Indian, obviously, or some foreign language that I don't know. This guy, this is Alcala, of course. Okay, this is the first room, and we're getting into a part with the older serial killers. But first, there's a little room that shows you that it's an international phenomenon. So there's a part about Sutcliffe. There's a shirt that he wore in prison. The cap. This is this cap, by the way. So that's the actual cap. And a pair of glasses. So it's interesting here in this expo because there's a lot of pair of glasses that actually belong to serial killers. So I thought that's a very interesting touch. This one here is a South African serial killer. Moses Sit Hall, the ABC killer. The South African Strangler, or the Gauteng Killer. 38 confirmed kills. This room here is about Jack the Ripper. So there's reproductions of his letters to the police, facts on the walls, a reproduction of the tools that he might have used, including the knife. There's a VR thing, a VR Jack the Ripper experience. And there's this famous room here that I've shown you a few times in other videos. So that's his last victim, in this very small room. Now let's get to the Cianciula room. Cianciula was the soap maker of Italy. So there's a kitchen here, tools, actual tools that she used to commit the murders. Those are extremely cool. A bust and an extremely rare postcard here. Those are killers that believe they were on a mission. So there's this Egyptian one, Mansour, Richard Chase, extremely scarce letter here. Smirnov is in my latest book on Russian cannibals, and this is a cross that's made with bread. And here we have the son of Sam with a small letter here, sign, free sign. To a doctor. I'm very, very bad. My head is bursting, perhaps. Okay. That's interesting. Wow. I am not a Christian, or am I religious? This has changed a lot, because now he's fully religious. I wanted to be possessed. I really wonder what's the story of that letter. Interesting. Oh, he's mentioning the Exorcist too. Yeah, he says he's read the book. Good on him. Here we have a room dedicated to a dean, okay, with a reproduction of his prints, fingerprints, the reproduction of one of the balls that he used. We actually sell the same kind of reproduction on Zero Pleasures, made by Guillaume from Cannibal Design. And this very cool lamp here. I think it's made by my friend Roberto, who owns that Criminis museum in Casale Monferrato. So as you can see, the place is amazing. It's on the roofs. There's a very nice atmosphere here. Okay, let's continue. A small space here devoted to serial killers in cinema, with signed artifacts by the actors. A reproduction of the Psycho mummy. Now let's get to the real deal. The big names. So we start by Dennis Nelson. Here, glasses. And a very, very cool writing machine from the collection of Dan Kay in the UK. Handwritten note. Very cool. Dahmer's kitchen, and of course the Dahmer glasses. They're awesome. Made by Cannibal Design, of course. This is another cool item that Taylor from Cult Collectibles has brought. There's the Bible that was found in his cell, and a handwritten letter to his grandma, signed Jeff. This part here is dedicated to the Monster of Florence, Il Mostro. We have very cool items pertaining to the case. Those are crime files inside. I've seen them. There's actual crime scene photos, extremely gruesome. Posters, original posters. This bit here is dedicated to Gacy. There's a reproduction of the crawl space here. Here. A letter to Gigi, Alan, and a skull clown. One of the many, many paintings that Gacy has done in prison. This part here is the one about Bundy, another very fine bust made by Cannibal Design. It looks extremely good. It's the centerpiece of the collection. And there's this very cool display of a letter, fully signed with an envelope that goes with it. This piece is so cool. It's a letter written by Gerard Schaefer, another serial killer, claiming that this lock of hair was a hair from Ted Bundy that he got from the guy who cut his hair before being executed. Of course, it's full bullshit. Sandra confirmed that he could have never. Sandra was the publisher and writer who helped Schaefer write Killing Fiction, and she confirmed to me that he could not have access to this lock of hair. But I think it's interesting to include it in the museum because it tells you so much about Schaefer and his personality. This, on the other hand, is a book that actually belonged to Bundy. It was found in his cell in the prison, and there's the initials TB on the side. And it's a book about an escape artist, Papillon, so it makes the piece even better. This here comes from the collection of Dan Kay, also. Extremely cool piece. It's the Death Warrant. This we've seen in Milan. It's a cast of Bundy's teeth on an ass. It's extremely tasteful. This is a reproduction of his torture instruments, and this here section is on the BTK. So there's a reproduction of his mask and actual slippers that he used to wear, photos, a letter, and a reproduction of a torture device that he created. Designed, actually. Designed this on a piece of paper, and Roberto recreated it. Here we are waiting for a circular saw belonging to Badola that might have been used to commit some of the crimes, but it's still on its way. A section on Ed Kemper here. Very cool icons. I filmed them before during the other expo. Section on Ridgway. Ramirez, I've added so many things. All those things are from my personal collection here. Those two displays here. So those are stuff either that he sent me or that I got from other collectors. This has a very cool stationery. There's this hand tracing here. This drawing of a gargoyle. The famous tie that I've shown in many videos. Now it's on display in a room. And an actual photo that was signed to me. So yeah, all those items are extremely cool, of course. But yeah, this is the piece, the centerpiece of the collection, the tie that he used to wear in court. And I've displayed all those objects myself before putting them onto glass. This is another thing from my collection, this signed picture from Bianchi. And there's a cool little piece on Gary Heineck with a signed envelope. Very scarce. This section here is on killers who kill for profit. So there's Puente. Here, Karl Denke, a Polish cannibal, with a very cool reproduction of his casket. And Aileen Warner's. This section here is on Italian serial killers. I've shown it in previous videos, so I won't stop. This is statistics. This here is on women who kill. Again, I've shown this section in Milan, so I won't tell you much more about it. There's Atkins over there, the Henny. Killer couples. So there's one thing that's new. This Bible here, called the Devil's Bible, which belonged to Brady. Collection of Danke, England. You get the stickers from the Ashworth Hospital Authority. I got one of those stickers when I used to write him too. Very interesting item with the prison sticker here. So it's called the Devil's Bible because, you know, Brady being so anti-religious, he used this book as a reference for his diatribes against religion. Another VR section. The Masked Killers here. Very cool room. And we are arriving to my little section here that I've shown you in previous videos. This I brought from my own collection. Is the costume that I used to wear when I worked in the morgue. This exact same costume here. All right. This painting with human bone fragments on it. Yeah. This skull that I made, the skull of Peter Curtin, I made this recently, and a human bone necklace. And a signed letter that I sent to Roberto. Here we have a little Sagawa section, Manson, and the Manson guitar. So we are arriving to my shop that I'm going to show you. And the Armin room, the Armin Mivas room, which is near the exit. So there's my shop here. Next to my shop, the Armin room. First, Moskvin, with a reproduction of the dolls that he would make. Extremely creepy case from Russia. And the Armin freezer. If you follow my adventures for a while, you know that this is a huge part of my story. It has been a huge part of my story for the past 3 years, and now it is in a museum in Rome. So this is cool. I had them set up the lights, etc. It's really the centerpiece of that room. There's also the actual cage that he used to play S&M games with his not victims, because he didn't kill them, but his dates. This is a reproduction of the cross. Son owns the original one. And the fridge. Also a very cool photo and newspaper here of the house that was destroyed by flames recently. And other objects here. Okay. And let's end this tour with the last rooms, the death penalty rooms. But first, the scientific police room. There's a real body here, fake one, another fake one, gas chamber over there, injection table, gallows. And let's end up this tour with the electric chair. All right, okay. You have just seen a quick tour of the museum, but of course it deserves more than that. In average, people spend 3 hours inside, so that gives you an idea of the amount of info. And yes, when in Rome, of course, come here, check out the Expo, and if you cannot go to Rome, maybe in the future, the Expo will come to you.